This is One on One. We're pleased to welcome Brett D'Alessandro, president and founder of an organization called Backpacks for Life, and Alexa Modero, VP and co-founder of Backpacks for Life. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, tell folks what your service was to this country, and in advance, we'll thank you.
I appreciate that. So I was in the Marine Corps for 6 years, and I was a motor T, and I was in a reserve unit up in Rhode Island. That's where Alexa and I met. We're going to school there, and they asked who wanted to volunteer to go to Afghanistan. So I raised my hand, and I was on my way to Camp Lejeune and with CLB 6, and that's who we deployed to Afghanistan with.
And what does that have to do with Backpacks for Life?
Backpacks for Life. So it started when I got back from Afghanistan. It was a really rough deployment. I didn't know who to turn to or where to go. There wasn't like a manual on how to rehabilitate yourself when you had a traumatic experience when you're overseas on a deployment. And so Alexa and I, we thought of Backpacks for Life. It came from when they put me on medical hold when I was up in Rhode Island, and I was going to a doctor's appointment up there, and I saw a guy with a sign, "Homeless vet, please help me out." So I went back to my hotel, I got a backpack filled out with warmer layers and gave it to the guy.
You did that?
Yes.
Out of instinct?
Just, I thought he needed a backpack and with some supplies and stuff. And so we talked a little bit, that was really it. About 3 days later, I saw him again, and he was with a little boy. So I pulled over to the side of the road, and before I could get a word out, the little boy said, "Thank you so much for the backpack. I no longer have to go to school carrying my books in my hands." And the dad said, "Thank you so much for the warmer layers. They even keep my wife, who's sick at the homeless shelter, warm." And at that point, I was like, I found my purpose again. I know what I have to do. I want to make sure every veteran out there has the resources they need, because I didn't know where to turn to, and I had family. I had great assets to help me out, and imagine somebody who's out there with nothing. So I wanted to make it my purpose again to make sure they're not forgotten.
Alexa, talk about what's in that backpack.
Yeah, so each backpack we fill with toiletries, your full-size shampoos, conditioners, soaps, and supplies. So your ponchos, your first aid kits, the things that you and I maybe don't think about every day, but are very crucial to someone who's in and out of shelters, living on the streets. And then the most important item is resource information. So information about programs, solutions, and care, depending on what the veteran might need. And that's that first line of defense, to hand a backpack out and say, "You are not alone. We care for you, and how can we help you beyond the backpack?"
We'll look at the backpack in just a moment. In fact, let's pull it up.
Yeah.
Elvin, can we take this shot? I promise I won't screw it up. Is that the shot? Does that work? As we're looking at the backpack, talk to us. What is this a backpack? This backpack, what is it a symbol for?
It's a symbol for hope that you can get better. There's, we can give our resources to our veterans, but if they don't have the will or the want or that hope to get better, they just can't possibly get better. So we want to make sure we give them the resources, but give them the will to want to get better with that hope.
Is it worse for homeless veterans?
I mean, there's homeless veterans and there's veterans who are at risk of being homeless, and that number is frequently larger. And coincidentally, recently, the number of female veterans that are homeless is growing faster than the male homeless veteran population. So, I mean, it's a multitude of things, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution for every single veteran.
By the way, I know Jen Eichlin, our executive producer, we're putting up the website of your organization, Backpacks for Life. Tell folks, when they go on that website, A, what's there, and B, how can they, more importantly, be helpful?
So there's a lot of information on there. We actually just updated our website, updated our new logo, so the website is really, really sweet. There's just a bunch of places and stuff. You can get involved and do a supply drive. You can do a toiletry drive, or you can do a packing event. You can donate a monetary value donation on there. You could just reach out. We've had some really cool people reach out, just wanted to give just all different kinds of things, like little knitting. They're called soap socks, and they put a soap inside like a little knitted packet, and the vets can use those. So we've had some really cool people reach out, there's
How rewarding? How rewarding for you?
It's like my holistic medicine. That's why I continue to do it. I was in a rough spot. I was a recovering alcoholic and addict. I had nowhere to turn to. A year prior, I was in college. I was a corporal in the Marines. And fast forward, I couldn't even get a haircut of having a mental breakdown. So this is my everything. I love it.
You dealt with PTSD.
That is correct.
People just hear that acronym. Oh, someone's depressed, they served, it'll pass. you say?
I think it's kind of that post-traumatic stress disorder. I think it's just anxiety. People think it's something like monstrous or something like, ooh, that person, we got to be careful around them. It's natural. I think you should get PTSD from what you've dealt with over there because that's natural. And if you didn't, then you should. That's something we should worry about. So having anxiety to something traumatic that you've been through, that is normal. This is the normal thing that is happening. So we shouldn't look at it like it's something negative. And we should really.
It's not a disease.
No, we should support that. I was telling Alexa, I would want to hire somebody who has been through addiction and has overcome it, or who has been through a traumatic experience and is overcoming. Those are the people I want to hire. They've been through the bottom and now they're on top and prospering. Those are the people that are so interesting to me.
You got help and you help yourself. To what degree is there significant support for vets suffering from PTSD?
I think there's a ton out there. It's just that veterans don't know that it's available to them and in what capacity. There's tons of eligibility requirements, standards, depending on maybe what branch you served in, how you were discharged. So there's just a lot of layers.
Is it complicated? We were talking about this before we got on the air. You said it's not that there aren't enough. How many organizations did you say could be helping vets right now?
There's 43,000 veteran service organizations out there. There's for-profit companies out there. There's government programs. That's not
There's
the
a
lack.
but coming, but?
That's not the lack of that's not the issue. It's the lack of the know-how. Veterans have no idea where to go and who to turn to. Everyone says VA. Now, don't get me wrong, the VA is a great
Great organization.
Yeah, great organization.
Great government agency, if you will. But they can't do it all, and they're overwhelmed, and you have to access the system.
Yeah, and I think the VA has started to realize that they want to rely on other veteran service organizations to come in, so we partner with the VA here in New Jersey to provide backpacks to those who are in transition.
So you collaborate.
Yeah.
Real quick before I let you out of here, there's a mentoring program. What is it and why does it matter? I got 30 seconds, go.
Our mentorship program is to help veterans connect the dots. We're the middleman to help them find the right resource at the right time to help them get back on their feet, and that's the critical part that veterans need.
How important is that? Final words, go ahead.
It's unbelievably important. We don't ask them, what do you need? We'll listen to their story because they might not know what's out there. So why would you even ask them what they need? We'll listen to their story, we'll implement resources, and we'll help them execute it. And not, here's some resources, good luck, I'll see you later. CC me on emails, contact me every other day to let me know how you're doing with those people that you're following up with or you're connecting with. Hey, let's go get some food. Let's just hang out. I'll ask some homeless vets, let's just go to the movie theaters or let's go to Burger King and just hang out. I'm not going to just go right off the bat and say, okay, let's get this going. Because during rehabilitation, you have to make them feel like a human again before you can help them access the resources.
It's one thing to say, as so many say, thank you for your service in the military on behalf of our country, but it's quite another to also thank you, to thank both of you for everything you're doing for veterans who are struggling and suffering and looking for a place to get help. Thank you for everything that you do and both of you do. Keep doing good work. Keep us posted.
Thank you.
This is One-on-One, that's One-on-Two, and we'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, RWJ Barnabas Health, the law firm of Gibbons PC, New Jersey Resources, Caldwell University, ADP, and by Kessler Foundation. Promotional support provided by NJ.com and by New Jersey Family Magazine and NJFamily.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.